It is a solo episode, and there's a good reason for it. I'm calling from Saudi Arabia. I landed a few days ago in Riyadh, and I thought I would take today to share some stories about what I have seen, why I'm here, what I'm learning, and how we can apply it. I was invited to speak at Riyadh at a conference called KBLT, and it was put on by Q&A International. Shout out to Coach Sohail Padari, and then also Mr. Suleiman Al-Romi, Chairman and CEO of Gulf Reps Limited, Saudi Premier Travel and Tourism Group. And I used to work together at Ritz-Carlton, and we did sales training together, so he was very familiar with me. Since he has been in his new position, he thought my messaging would be perfect. The reason why these individuals gathered was to discuss travel, to discuss the world of how to elevate luxury and service, how to communicate better, how to improve hospitality. We talked about the impact of AI on travel and hospitality, and what do we need to do to continue to over-deliver. I want to share just a few stories. On my Lufthansa flight, I noticed flight attendants anticipating and over-delivering for a young family with 5 and 3 years old. The flight attendants realized that it was going to be a long flight, 6-hour flight or so. They brought a little goodie basket or a little gift bag, and it had snacks and coloring books, gummy bears, a stuffed airplane, stickers and cards. As soon as the children received it, they absolutely squealed. The parents didn't ask. The kids didn't expect it, but it kept them happy. To me, that is over-delivering. It also reminded me about the resources that you need to be able to over-deliver. You need to have the resources, you need to have the system, you need to have the process. Lufthansa needed to order all of those great child gifts. Then they needed to be stocked. The flight attendants need to be told what is there. And then probably the flight attendants would either naturally or need to be trained to say, okay, this is what you look for. If there's kids that are traveling, there's families traveling with us, feel free to give them out. After the long flight, when I landed, the airport in Riyadh, absolutely stunning. Most people rush to go through immigration to show customs and show your passports. The airport was so beautiful that people were stopping to take pictures, including me. How unusual. Talk about a warm welcome. But then when I went through customs and immigration, I was pleasantly surprised because they made me feel, and all of our listeners know how much I like to talk about every opportunity is the chance to make someone feel a certain way. They made me feel welcome. I didn't look like everyone else. I wasn't dressed like everyone else. I was probably one of the only Americans coming here on that flight. And yet, immigration's customs made me feel welcome. It was an honor for them to have me as a guest. They were warm and welcoming. I ended up having a conversation with the gentleman checking my passport. He was relatively new to the position for 3 weeks, and he loved it because he felt that it was, again, an honor to be able to have people come to visit his country. And isn't that what hospitality is all about? It's an honor to make people feel special. Here I am, I'm staying at the Movenpick Hotel in Riyadh. They have given me an extra access kind of to their club level, an executive lounge. They knew I had calls. They're giving me this room. They're checking in on me. It's a beautiful room. They're bringing me drinks and fruit and snacks, anticipating what I'm going to need, remembering what I ordered yesterday and bringing it to me in advance. That's over delivering. 2 days ago, I had the chance to go to the Ritz-Carlton Riyadh. I was being introduced to him from some mutual friend. And even before meeting the general manager, the staff treated me with incredible care. When I arrived, I didn't tell them that I was there to meet with the general manager. I simply said, I'm here to meet with someone. I asked if I could sit in the lounge. They gladly welcomed me. They pulled open the chair. May I get you anything? No, I'm waiting with a guest here soon. So is it okay if I just do some work? Yes, certainly. Would you like some water? Not only did they bring water, but they brought a cloth coaster to go underneath the water glass. And then they brought a bottle of water, not knowing who I was, not knowing if I was a guest or not. None of that mattered. As soon as I passed through their doors, I was a guest. And the ladies and gentlemen almost took it like it's their responsibility. And I'm seeing that with a lot of the hospitality talent out here, that as soon as you walk through the doors, you are our responsibility. You are our guest. Whether you spend money, whether you don't spend money, it is just superb. If we want to add in a research component, this is why it matters. And I shared this on stage when I was presenting to these group of travel individuals, that 71% of customers expect personalized interactions. 76% of individuals get frustrated when it's missing. Lastly, 80% are more likely to buy from brands that tailor experiences. It used to be monogram pillowcases, monogram the robes whenever you arrived at a luxury hotel. It used to be they pulled a few photos of my pets and my family, printed them and put them into frames and surprised me by placing them around the room. That used to be a wow. Now I think that's just delivering. When a corporation is meeting, you're having lunch with a salesperson, the pastry chef comes out and they have a logo of your company on a cake or on an image on a plate. That used to be wow. But to me, that's now just delivering. There's elements of over delivering. So what can we do with regard to personalization, with regard to customization, with regard to focus to make people feel noticed and seen? Many of you know the story of Q, the homeless gentleman in New York City.
I'd like to give a shout out and a very big thanks to our sponsor for today's podcast episode. It is wishes.inc. Many people carry thoughts like, my small donation is not going to make a difference. I don't have enough money to help. People won't use the money wisely. Well, these are stories. These are not truths. What this organization has created, Wishes.inc, provides documentation and transparency showing you that every gift counts. You can literally see the impact. You can help instantly without red tape. And then generosity does not need to be complicated. It can be joyful, direct, and fulfilling. There's going to be a link to the website off of our show notes. But if you would like some more information, please go to wishes.inc.
His sign read, I might as well be invisible. That's just one example. We can apply the philosophy of humanity of participating and over-delivering at a luxury hotel in Paris, at a convention center in Amsterdam, at a restaurant in Ashburn, Virginia. We can deliver those elements of personalized and customized service. At the Ritz-Carlton in the lounge, there was another gentleman that I met. He was one of the supervisors. I just wanted to compliment him and his team. I said, the best cups of coffee I've ever had. The attentiveness, the over-delivering just really made me feel special. Thank you very much. He said, may I share a story with you? Of course. He shares a story when he was an hourly or line employee. He was assisting a guest that wanted to go to the bowling alley. So they had a bowling alley in the hotel at the Ritz-Carlton Riyadh. The guest wanted to spend more time bowling. And what time does it close? It closes at midnight. This gentleman had a prior commitment. This gentleman suggested, let me know when you come back. We're happy to open it back up for you. And as he was leaving, as the guest was leaving, he noticed the ping pong table and appeared to be excited, but then also a little sad. Oh, I would have loved to play some ping pong, some table tennis, but I have to go meet my friend. And this is where this gentleman, Momen, really jumped into action. They decided we can move this tabletop tennis. We could put it in a suite. The gentleman had a very lovely room, a suite. So what they did, they empowered themselves to move this tabletop tennis into the suite. And then they had a little welcome back note. They had snacks for this gentleman when he arrived back home at probably 2:33 in the morning. He was overwhelmed, over delighted by their over delivering. A terrific example. Later, they find out that this guest was a celebrity in some sense, had well over 600,000 followers on different social media channels. He then spread the word. The act of noticing, anticipating, and over deliver was done not because this person was famous. They didn't do those things for me because I was meeting with the general manager. They were doing because they were doing it because anyone that walks through that door is now my responsibility to make feel a certain way. That guest continues to come back to the hotel about once every 2 or 3 months, visits with the people, probably doesn't even have business there now, but wants to maintain that relationship because they made him feel so special. That is what's different. Here's the application. There's a lot of coming in. Teams are rushing to handle from task to task. So it's difficult. We know it is difficult. Sometimes then we default to just checking off the box. I responded, check. Some Starbucks employees are a little disgruntled because they are mixing new drinks together. It takes more time. They're also required to do 3 or 4 things. The first one is to greet guests whenever they arrive. The second one is to write something customized on the cup. And the third one is to look them in the eye whenever they're handed the cup of coffee. I applaud Starbucks for doing this. Application of it is probably not as consistent as it needs to be. The Starbucks that I often will work at if I'm not traveling, when I go in there, they say welcome, but no one is looking at me. So I don't even think it's directed to me. I've never received a handwritten note, I don't think, on any cup. And it is challenging sometimes for perhaps even different generations to look you in the eye when they serve you the cup of coffee. But it shouldn't be that hard. The reason why I'm sharing all these things with you is that how can we apply customization, personalization, luxury? How can we go above and beyond when we're so busy? The suggestion is this. If you're a salesperson, look at all of your leads and then come up with a process to quickly identify what has the greatest opportunity. Who is a repeat customer, who fills a need date for me, who has the budget for the best rate, who is competitor hotels that also have very high rates. Let's just look at that very quickly. And then let's drop them down into the focused area bucket. And with the focused area bucket, how can we make the meeting planner, the decision maker, the CEO feel special? Come up with a strategy. If you spend 10 times coming up with a strategy for your highest potential accounts, I could guarantee you're going to get more business. What does that personalization, customization look like? Maybe it's a handwritten note card after they come. Do you have a process for that? Do you have a stack of cards, a stack of stamps? Do you have a nice pen? Are you ready to go? You need to have the process for that. All right, so that's one example. Someone comes and they really enjoyed the gnocchi that our restaurant serves, and it's one of the most famous dishes. All right, what could we do to over deliver? We could make an extra order and we could pack it to go, and that's one thing. We could give them the recipe of it. That's a second thing. We chef come out and say hello. That's a third thing. We could invite them back to do a cooking demonstration in the kitchen with the chef, schedule the chef to do another personal class with their immediate group, over delivering. We can do things like that. You can do things like that. You just need to make sure that you're focusing, right? Focusing. Do it for clients and partners and team members. You can do it for your team. Learned another great story from a Pepsi friend. When his team members vacation, with their permission, he asks if he can call their base of customers just to let them know that Sally is going to be out for a week or Tom is going to be out for a week. And I am here to be able to help you. That allows the employee to be able to rest and relax. That also makes the customers feel good that your boss is calling me and they're going to handle things for us. It's a handwritten note. It's asking the question when no one else asks, slowing down long enough to truly listen. Those are the things that go from delivering to over-delivering. Finally, being here in Riyadh has reminded me people are going to remember how you made them feel. They tell me, as people are doing nice things for you, we can do nice things back that are deliberate, that are customized, that are personalized. When you focus on those that matter the most, you create memories that last. Doing what most people don't do, I'm able to notice what people are doing. People are good. In general, people are good. People are kind. Please, a reminder to you, just keep noticing, keep anticipating, keep over-delivering, keep doing what most people don't do. So grateful that you've joined us today, and we'll talk next week.